My name is Jason Thompson. I'm Vice President of Emergency Products and Research of Kent, Ohio. I am a former hospital corpsman from the United States Navy. I left the Navy and went into healthcare administration. I also, since 1993, have been involved in emergency medicine. I've been with Emergency Products Research now since 2014. The history goes back to the beginning of spine boards, and it goes back to the beginning of most of the things that we have on our ambulances today. Jim Doherty, who's the CEO of the company, has a long history of being involved in development of these products. And to me, have an opportunity to work together with Jim and also with Jerry Ramsey, the other half of the company. It just was an awesome experience for me. To understand a pathogen, the actual organism that actually causes an infection, was something that is extremely important for all of us to know. And we didn't know that because most of the textbook authors would come back to us and tell us that the reason that they didn't really focus on that is because as first responders, we don't treat bacterial infections. We don't treat viral infections, nor are we able to diagnose them. But the problem is as we learned with Ebola, or we should have learned with Ebola, was that we are the frontline providers. And the first contact with most of these diseases is gonna be through us. So we're either gonna become infected or we're gonna become carriers or hosts of these organisms. So that's where AMBUstat truly came from. Was Jim and I realized at that point that there was a real issue that had to be addressed. The real difference between AMBUstat and our competitors is that AMBUstat was purely designed for public health. Our competitors, for the most part, were designed specifically for controlled environments where they have climate controls. There are very strict procedures for entering and exiting these spaces. Those things don't exist in the public health pre-hospital world or outside the hospital world. So our difference between our system is it's very easy to use, it's very easy to understand, and it's very easy to afford. And the simplicity of the program allows it to be expanded throughout the spectrum and globally, if you will. One of the most exciting parts of the AMBUstat program is actually the decontamination agent itself. We spent a lot of time and resources on determining the best vehicle or the best agent to actually achieve the goal that we're looking for. We chose a solution or a sterilant called peracetic acid. It in itself is a cold sterilant. In the name itself, sterilant means it's able to destroy or inactivate all living organisms, right? So that's extremely important because we don't know enough about our emerging pathogens, emerging diseases. So we need to have the ability to be able to quickly eliminate or destroy all living organisms within a space. And that was extremely important for us because it has a very short half-life. So if you will, again, very generally, it just goes into a kill state very fast, and then it also depletes back down into basic elements extremely quickly, which is extremely important when you understand the safety necessity of not having any residual chemicals on the space which can basically create a safety hazard to our patients, to us, to our families, and those things. So all you have to do is simply just take the decontamination itself, you pour it into the tank, and from that point, you're going to set up a remote, you're gonna set up a timer, you're gonna make sure that all your exterior entrances are safe so nobody comes in during the treatment. You're going to make sure that you're not gonna have any type of drift, if you will, into another adjacent space. You're gonna make sure that the space is fully contained. And then once you have that done, you're gonna basically activate the remote, remove yourself from the space itself. You're gonna set yourself a reminder that it'll be done in X minutes. And then at that point, you're gonna go back, you're gonna open the doors, allow it to ventilate that space. If you need to put a fan in there to accelerate the ventilation, you can do that. The time varies. It all depends on what the goal is you're trying to achieve. If you're trying to achieve a very low level disinfection, we're gonna tell you to run it for X minutes. And that's all determined by spatial dimensions. So, length times width times height, right? So you're gonna find out what's your cubic foot measurements are of that room, and that's going to tell you how many minutes it needs to run. If you're looking for a mid-level or a lot higher level of disinfection, again, just adjustments on the time, which is all based off of spatial dimensions again. And then if you're looking for sterilization, again, it's the same thing. It's just a longer run time based off those spatial dimensions. For a 500 cubic foot ambulance, right now we're looking at, we have an obligation, a commitment to actually turn around that ambulance in less than 45 minutes. That's our goal. We believe that we have a solution that has an incredible benefit to safety and also minimal impact on the environment, which is extremely important to all of the people involved in this program.